Hey there guys, welcome to my movie vlog. My name's John Campia and this is my quick review of the brand new Steven Spielberg directed film, Ready Player One. Ready Player One is of course based on the insanely popular novel of the same name, imagining a future just a few decades in the future where the entire world is completely obsessed with this game that takes place in this virtual world called World of Warcraft. The OASIS. The story takes on a little bit of a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory kind of vibe. When the creator of the OASIS, Halliday, passes away, he lets the world know that somewhere within his game, he has hidden 3 keys which leads to a golden Easter egg, and whoever finds that egg will take over ownership of the OASIS and thus becoming one of the most powerful people in the world. The movie focuses on our main hero character, Wade, also known in the game as Percival, as he is one of these guys who has dedicated himself in all of his free time to trying to find this egg. The problem is, everybody's been looking for it for a couple of years and nobody's gotten any closer to it. And then basically there's this big bad guy, of course, played by Ben Mendelsohn, who is a great bad guy in these films, and the evil corporation he represents, and they want to get this golden egg as well. Everyone wants to get the golden egg, and actually it's not just a fight for the game, it's a fight for the world. And all right, look, I'm gonna just tell you right off the top here, this movie is freaking fantastic. I'm not quite sure it's my #1 favorite film of the year of 2018, which is still a very young year, but it very well might be. One of the things people have asked me most about since seeing the film is all the nostalgia stuff. You know, we've seen the trailers with Batman in it, with Iron Giant in it, with all these, with the DeLorean, all these things and symbols and avatars and characters we've seen from a lot of pop culture stuff. Some people have asked me, hey, is this movie nothing but, you know, nostalgia porn? Is it just throwing meaningless things of nostalgia at you? And that is actually one of the best things about this movie. Steven Spielberg uses all these things, but he doesn't just give us like a meaningless flash of something that we recognize, some kind of meaningless pop culture reference, like say something like the Emoji Movie did. Instead, what Spielberg does is, when he decides he's going to use a piece of pop culture or some kind of nostalgia reference, he uses it as an integral part of the story. For instance, we see in the trailers the DeLorean. The DeLorean's an important thing to our hero. We see flashes of the Iron Giant. It's not just some meaningless quick flash. The Iron Giant actually has an important part to play in the movie. Another great example of this is halfway through the movie in the second act there's a part of the movie that takes place within the framework of another old popular movie. I won't say which one. But it's not just some lame reference to that movie. That movie that it's referencing becomes an important part of the story. It's not meaningless lip service nostalgia like a lot of other films do. It's actually taking all these things and uses them in an important way in the film. In many ways, Ready Player One is the book's author, but also Steven Spielberg's love letter to these things in pop culture we have loved so much. And no matter how well that stuff is done, it would all be meaningless if this wasn't a movie populated with rich characters and a good story, and we've got both. Sheridan does a terrific job in the lead role as Wade. We believe him as a simple kid who there's more to him than just that. He's obsessed with Halliday, and he knows the life of Halliday inside out and backwards. He's also brave and courageous and good-hearted, everything we love in a good hero, but at the same time, he's a little bit naive, he's a little bit simplistic, so he's got flaws, he's got several layers to him. I really dug the character. Then you've got Olivia Cooke playing Artemis, who, if you think in terms of the Matrix, she's like the Trinity figure. Like, everybody in the OASIS knows of Artemis, like everybody knows of Trinity, and along comes Olivia Cooke, and I really actually quite enjoyed the chemistry between Sheridan and Olivia Cooke, so that as there's romance in the film, yes, but also the camaraderie, you believe it because these two actors have great chemistry together. I'm not going to give away the role of Simon Pegg in the film, but I really enjoyed Simon Pegg in the film too. And oh my god, Steven Spielberg is one of the best ever at capturing adventure, not just action, adventure. And as you're going through the action sequences and all the set pieces with all the adventure in it, I found myself almost sitting in my theater chair like I was on a roller coaster, like I was going along for the ride. It's not too much shaky camera, it's not too much quick edits, but it uses them in just enough proportion to add to the excitement of the scene. It's really exhilarating. And then of course it all adds up to the big culmination at the end with the big battle between good and evil, and that did not disappoint. Also, I should kind of say TJ Miller does the voice of this character called IROC, which is actually like a really good character. As far as the bad side goes, the only thing that really stood out to me as a distinctive narrative was the resolution of the villains near the end. Not that the end of the film wasn't great, but the way they resolved the storyline with the villains themselves felt a little bit anticlimactic. They probably could have done a better job with that. But other than that, I mean, this movie for me is a win across the board. Now, one of the other things a lot of people have been asking me is how close is the movie to the book? And to be honest, I never read the book, so I can't give you any sort of an informed opinion. I will say this. Anne, my wife, has read the book, and she did mention a number of differences between the book and the movie. Whether she thought those were great differences or bad differences, I'm not really sure, but there are clearly some differences between the book and the movie. So there you have it, guys. Those are my quick thoughts on the new Steven Spielberg film, Ready Player One. The question is, have you been one of the lucky people to see one of those advanced screenings? Have you seen the movie? If so, jump down to the comments section below and let me know your thoughts. If you haven't seen it yet, let me know about your expectations. That'll do it for me, guys. Thanks a lot for joining me. My name's John Campia, and until my next video, bye-bye.